Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Dr. T, PhD, your prodigy of sports psychology here in the greater Atlanta area. About to welcome back another awesome guest right here on today's show. He is Mr. Anthony Segal. He is the founder of iDefend Krav Maga down in Johannesburg, South Africa. So before we bring Anthony back here on today's show, I'd like to ask everyone out there, if you please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. You've seen Anthony here on GoTarryn TV previously. He is an awesome guest. He's a wonderful gentleman, and he truly exemplifies what everything involved in health and fitness is, and self-defense especially as well too. So I'm so excited to catch up with him and just see how everything's going with him in his world and how everything is down there in Johannesburg, South Africa. So I think he's about 6 hours ahead of me, but we're going to get this going here momentarily. We're going to bring him on here and catch up, and I'm so excited to bring him on here. And remember, with GoTarryn Health and Fitness, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life, and we'll see you in a second. Okay, everybody, and here we are with all the way from Johannesburg, South Africa, once again, Mr. Anthony Segal. Anthony, how are you doing out there today?
We good. I'm good. There's definitely a bit of developments that are happening, changes that people are now getting into the slow swing of things, but there's definitely a change in the heart. But we've also got to be very wary and cautious of the things because, people talk about the third wave, but life is starting to take a bit of normality, but we still got to be precautious.
Yeah.
But we're all good.
Yeah, very well said, Anthony. You're right. Last time you and I talked, we were kind of, it looked like looming with some better news with the vaccines. And before you and I started recording, actually, I was just kind of telling you that, things were almost starting to look like they were picking back up here. But I know it's different there. And it's funny because here in the United States, a lot of the people are weary because of the different mutated virulent strains that they talk about, and one being the one from South Africa. So being there, I don't know, maybe you could help dispel some of the rumors or myths that people have here. I mean, is it as bad as they say?
I wouldn't say, it's bad to where it is or what. I suppose, I must be honest, I'm not one to keep my ear to the floor and say, listen, this is going on, and the gossip of this and the gossip of that.
Yeah.
I suppose at the end of the day, it's like, people, you hear the doctors talking in South Africa, you hear, okay, over there in Europe, there's been 1,000 in a day, like 500 in a day. But then you hear Israel has taken off their masks and they try, so how, when we looked at even in the training of self-defense, we looked at it and even said, I don't want to get COVID. I don't want to surely give COVID to anyone. So be respectful of each other. If you're feeling like you've got some of the symptoms, don't come to train, get yourself tested and checked. And we take the measures into sanitize your hands, wear a mask, come train, sanitize your hands after training. And because technically the threat level is not going away because of a disease. In fact, it's actually increased because there's no food, no jobs, no this, no that. So it's becoming opportunistic. So we have to keep in mind that the bigger focus is life still carries on. And I suppose everyone is so zoomed out. If they like everything for like 8 months, we were Zoom meeting. And I think human contact is that we species of we need tactile, we need touch, we need to see, and I think people are becoming, I'm not saying complacent, I'm just saying that, it's okay to meet at a coffee shop now and have coffee, go in, wear your mask, take your mask off, have your coffee, put your mask on when you walk into your car.
Yeah.
But to just interact with people, I think it's now becoming more of a norm than it was before.
Yeah, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that it's going that way there.
But that's only my view. That's only my view. So I'm sure if you speak to Natalie or anyone like that, she might have a different view. But the thing is, and you've got to, I suppose, be respectful of people in their age. You know,
Oh
if
yeah,
you've got,
good point. Yeah.
So, you know, so what's what, and so, well, you've got to be respectful of, you know, I've got a guy who's 60 plus who comes trains with us, and when he trains, we go, okay, well, masks are on the whole time, you know, and because if one guy says, listen, guys, do you mind training with your masks on tonight? Then that's the rule. We train with masks on. But you know, we've got to be respectful of each other, and rightfully so. Like, you know, the elderly do get it a bit more quicker than us. They talk about the younger ones, but we just got to be mindful of ourselves.
Yeah, very well said,
And
Anthony.
others.
Yeah, I mean, that's so right. You know, it's all about respect, and it's the same here too with the elderly. The masks are put on, and you know all the other things that they do. But how about with your business and with the Krav Maga and iDefend, everything going on? How has that been since I last spoke to you too? What's going on with that?
So obviously, we took a great knock in the business when COVID hit.
Yeah.
But rightfully now, thank God, when now they said, okay, level 3 is open, more people you can allow. If you've got a area of X square meters, so many people are allowed to be in there. Since opening up, there has been a little bit more interaction with people coming to do some things. It's not where it was, but there's definitely a definite climb that people are becoming more conscious in their self-being, of being healthier now, doing a little bit of exercise. And while I'm doing exercise, I might as well learn how to protect myself at the same time. So there's a bit of that, and also a lot of bit more privates are coming. I want to do it, but I'll do it in the capacity of my own home. So you come to me and do it privately in my own home, for me and my family. Some businesses are coming back together and doing some things for their staff. So everyone's to their own in what they're doing, what they feel that's right for themselves. So I, like when I come to a client, or even when I have my class, I get there early, I sanitize the bags, I sanitize the boxing mitts, whatever the case is. The equipment that we use for the evening, we sanitize it, use it, sanitize it after we've used it again. So you take your measurements into precaution, but you just do what you can and protect yourself and protect others around you.
Yeah. How about, Anthony, the vaccine? Is that being administered there? I'm not aware if it is or not there.
So yes, definitely it has been. You know, obviously the doctors and the frontline workers know more, you know, and they've been told that the frontline workers and the doctors are getting the vaccine because that's what they do. Because if you police or you doctors or you're working with the people that are on a day-to-day basis, definitely I think they're getting it, or should be getting it. And then there was a bit of a, you know, like you talk about rumors, you know, and then they say, I think it's a Johnson & Johnson product was there, and then it was, oh, well, this, it's not a real product, it's this, and then it was put on hold, and then it was given the pass to go ahead. So, you know what, you listen to different sides and different stories and different thoughts. I suppose at the end of the day, I think to get the best answer from that, I suppose, talk to a general doctor or a guy who's on the front line and saying, are the vaccines coming out? Because there was a bit of a hold, but now I hear next week there's X amount of 100,000, 200,000 coming, are going to be distributed for the frontline workers. So let's see what they say, you know. Unless you're government, I think you just wait until it's you get told or this is going to happen or not.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good advice. How about, Anthony, with the people that are kind of like you just mentioned, you know, if we're still kind of seeing people hesitant, especially here too, of not wanting to come back to the fitness center, get back to the gym because they're kind of just, let's say, maybe fearful or paranoid because they might just feel like they might, you know, catch something or just be in fear of health. But if people are making it back into the, you know, gym or coming back to you for their exercise programs and Krav Maga. What advice do you have for those people who might still be kind of, let's say, resistant or on the fence or still wondering if it's safe to come back? What would you tell them in terms of, that it's time to come back and get back into their health?
Yeah, well, look, I can't force someone or tell anyone to come back because this one is here and that one.
Mm-hmm.
But on a side story, so just let you know what's actually happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
In the last while, what actually happened is I landed up a couple of weeks ago with tick bite fever.
Yes, and I was going to ask you about that. That's
yeah. So I'm sure you saw that I had tick bite fever, and then from tick bite fever, they put a drip in my arm, and the drip went into my artery instead of a vein, and it caused a clotting in my arm. Then the one clot shot to the lung, and then with all the doctors working on me, they then gave me COVID in hospital. So on that, I had COVID.
Oh my goodness!
I was man down for just over 3 weeks, like properly man down. But all I can say for those who are worried about going back to a gym or I want to train, but I'm too scared. All my advice to you is if you want to just do some squats at home, move your arms a little bit, do leg kicks up, lie on your back and do some leg kicks, can do some sit-ups, do some push-ups, do something and get blood circulation in your body and maintain that. Because I can tell you now, someone who does not do any exercise, obviously the eating pattern of eating correctly also plays a vital role in it. But someone who doesn't train or do anything at all, your recovery period to an illness is so much more drastic than someone who would do some fitness. I can tell you from personal experience of doing some fitness, like I came out going on now for a week, 2 weeks now. This week will be 2 weeks. Doctors said, you'll only start going back to teach and everything 2 weeks after out of hospital, 2 weeks, and then gradually go into it. I've been back at the gym a week already. I've been training, I've been teaching, I'm feeling good. I'm taking my precautions and everything, but I've recovered because I've always done something in health and fitness to maintain myself. And that's what I can say to someone. So if someone doesn't want to get back to the gym or go to the gym, then there's nothing wrong with standing in front of your mirror and doing 10 squats and 10 arm circles and
there you go.
10, whatever you want to do, what your own form in the mirror, see if your form is correct. You can go to, you can go, I presume you guys call it a Walmart. I think it's Walmart. Like a Walmart that sell like gym mats or weights or something like that, 5 kilogram, 3 kilogram weights. So make your own gym at home. And whatever you did, if it's bicep day or if it's back day or shoulder day or whatever, do those exercises that you would normally do in the gym in front of your, in a garage, in your home. Create a gym, create an environment that you can feel at peace and do some exercise. Don't use COVID as your outlet of, well, because of COVID, I haven't done anything. That's why I'm looking 20 Ks heavier. No, COVID didn't do that. Laziness did that. You blame someone else. There was a talk about taking someone, you hear about inspiring talks and it's about, the guy who gives you, wake up and everything and do this and the first thing that you should do. And you hear all these inspiring things, but discipline starts with you. So you can give me this motivational talk of like, you want to be empowered? Empower this. You want to do this? Be that. But the truth of the matter, you want to start? Discipline yourself. Discipline yourself that you wake out of bed and do 10 squats. Discipline yourself to do, when you're doing this, do your push-ups. That's the, and then you get to where your level is. Nothing will start without you starting it first. And empower yourself. Yeah. So yeah, so I suppose that will be like, you know, nothing is done. You know, there's that old saying of, can take a horse to water, but you cannot make a drink. You know, I can tell you all the trade secrets, how to do this, how to do that, but if you're not prepared to do it, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true. You're right. I think, it's like, you know, they always say you can't change people and you can't make people do things. It's like you said, you know, a few minutes ago, you can't make someone or tell them like, you know, I want to tell you to come back to the gym. It's definitely up to them. It's that empowerment, but,
Change starts with you.
yes. I mean, it really does. You're so right about that. But, you know, there's one thing you said that I really thought of that hit hard with us here in the United States, that when COVID first happened, I would say that probably half of my clientele said, hey, I'll come back to the gym once they have a vaccine, you know, once this COVID goes away. So it was so funny because once the vaccine came out and I contacted those clients and they said, well, actually, I want to wait till the pandemic turns into an endemic. Yeah. Right.
The second one comes in. And then once the second one comes out, I'll look then and think, are you making excuses all the time? Excuses.
Right. Yeah.
And you're going to live with excuses for the rest of your life. Like, you know what? But you know, it's like, it's crazy how the philosophy of the mind, like, you know, works. Like, okay, COVID came and there's people, and unfortunately there's been deaths and this.
Oh yeah.
But the truth of the matter is, TB's been around for a couple of years, 100 years, more, whatever.
True. Yeah.
But because you're living in this society or whatever, TB is never going to happen to me. Now, HIV is never going to happen to me. I surround myself with the clean. I don't have any sexual connotations with any. I would never get HIV. Are you mad? But there hasn't been a cure. It hasn't been anything that they've done for HIV. But people are dying all the time from it.
It's true.
TB, HIV. But because it's been given a name and they're turning around and they're saying, you know, like, this is going to happen. This is because COVID has been given a name. COVID. It's like your winter flu. It's a measure of the winter flu in a bad strain that's been given a name. And people are dying from it. Elderly people, sure, because it's cold and they're old and their lungs aren't working as much as it was for a 20-year-old or whatever. And this is just my thoughts to it. And I've had COVID, and I'm not saying that it's a myth. It's very real and very much. But so is AIDS, and so is TB, and so is all the others. But no one is actually putting any energy or focus in what's the cure for that. Like, we just, oh my God, COVID, we've got to manage the strain on that and fix that strain. So why don't you find, and how do you find a vaccine all of a sudden in 2 months after a disease has come out that has been approved, when they've been working on a vaccine for AIDS and this and that, and no one's come up with like, in 2 months, you've got a vaccine. Like, personally, and I'm just talking only on me, is like, have you tested this? Like, you've got it out and you're now jabbing people with it, but what are the ramifications to it? Like, who knows what's going to happen? Now they're finding out that this causes, you get clotting. You can get clotting from it. So I'm getting this, but like 6 months down the drain, a year down the drain, is eyesight going to be affected? What research have you done in such a short period of time? And now you're jabbing me with it, but you haven't found a vaccine or something for AIDS, and AIDS has been going on for ages.
Yeah, that's pretty scary. I mean, that's true. That's scary when you think about it.
Like, and I might be bombed out, I might be whatever, but it's like, you know, they talk about like, oh, it came from China, it came from Korea, it came from this, it came from a bat, it came from a cow, it came from this, it came from that. So we go, okay, cool. So what is the procedures of what should we do? We should cover our mouth and our nose. Okay? Great idea. Where does this mask come from that we need to cover our mouth and our nose? From where COVID came from, or from the disease, China. So the guy, okay, so now we're getting a mask. Oh, all of a sudden, okay, well, where's the vaccine? Oh, listen, we've got the vaccine here. It's like people are telling us, like, okay, well, we need a mask. Well, where do we get a mask? Let's find China. China will bring them in, and we'll bring them in from China. But China gave us the vaccine. So I think personally, was the stock market in America dropped, or in worldwide drops, because things were in pear-shaped and shit. The international model, the Chinese, or the monopoly of the world, saw it crash, and said, instead of buying a share at $5, I'm going to buy it at 50 cents because it's worth absolutely nothing now, because the market's dropped. Are the monopoly, now I'm the rulers of the world, and they have always been. So, and I'm not saying, like, anyway, you go and look at the shirt that you're wearing, to the cap that I'm wearing. The only difference is it might be a Levi shirt, and mine's a Pick and Pay. It comes from China. It doesn't matter what the brand sticker is. It's made there. It's just your brand is just put on differently. So they own the monopoly of the world. Whatever we get, made in China, made in China, made in China, made in China. It's life. But not saying that it's wrong. I'm just saying that we're so scared in getting it. So I don't want to get it. So I'll try to take the vaccine. I'll do this. But what testing has been done? What research has been done on this vaccine? If it's been brought out in such a short time, what have you done in that short time to prove that the ramifications 6 months, a year, 5 years down the line, I won't have memory loss. I won't, whatever. You're just jabbing me, but I don't know. I'm just like, okay, well, I don't want to get COVID in the arm. Cool. Now I don't get COVID. Oh, but you know, my eyesight isn't that great today. I'm sorry, but it's like my personal thoughts to it is like, do some proper research that's being put into it. Research like AIDS. Why haven't you created that vaccine for AIDS? And AIDS has been around for a while, but you've never created a vaccine for it. And now all of a sudden, my thoughts is there's always been a vaccine for it. You're just rolling it out in periods of times. We need this. We'll give you this to bombshell the country or the world. Then we'll have a remedy for this. Now we will introduce this. Okay, so now we've given you the COVID to scare the world. So the next part, to help you with this, we will give you masks. Lifesavers. Now, a few months now we're going to give you the vaccine. You are the best, because I've got new stages of how to get the remedy. You know, so like, I'm just like, you're feeding me, and I'm just gullible to take it.
That's really interesting, Anthony. That's something that we really need to think about. I'm so intrigued, and it's definitely. I could tell you this, that here in America, certainly what you're saying has definitely been suggested, and there's been division. One of the things we're having in this country is that not enough people are getting the vaccine, and there's a lot of political divide.
Here as well.
Yeah. So it's what you're saying doesn't surprise me, because we're seeing that kind of infighting here. It's been very, very politically divided here, and kind of like mistrust of the government, so to speak.
Yeah, and like, so when I said I was in hospital, what the government talk and say, the front line is getting their vaccines and everything like that. So I was talking to one of the nurses in the hospital that I was at, and they've been waiting on the front line, and they're dealing with the patients and everything. They've personally been waiting 8 months, and they haven't got their first shot yet. So what you're getting told in the news as reporters are telling to make it look everyone it's on par and everything like that. Like talking to the actual nurses and doctors, or especially nurses, they haven't even been called up to get their first vaccine yet.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So what you're hearing and what's happening is not really corresponding with each other. So a very interesting thing, and I don't know how much time we have left, but very interesting thing. I was in a training talk and I was talking with a guy, and he said, years ago, our brain is divided into two segments. We've got like neuro 2 and neuro 1, or brain 1, brain 2. Now, brain 1 has been around since years and years. Brain 2 is coming, but it's still developing. So in our lives, we go, as human beings, we're very trustworthy people. Taryn's a nice guy. He's done nothing bad to me, so he's a nice guy. So I trust him. Okay? Because that's how our brains work. Take yourself on first value of a person in self-defense. I see you, I trust you automatically to come near you, to talk to you. I trust you. Right? The second brain, so then you've got your brain side, and you go, okay, well, I'm trustworthy. And then your second part of your brain, you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't trust him so much, but I'm not sure. But now your first brain is saying to you, don't trust. Okay? And now what we normally do is we normally go back to our second brain and say, whatever, and we learn and we fault out, and I was taken by that guy in business. But what you should actually be listening is to your first brain side, because it's been more growth and knowledge in, you go, I don't know if I should trust him, but my second brain, I trust him and go ahead. But what your first brain was telling you is don't, and you should have gone with your first instinct of don't trust him, you lose money, you lose this.
Yeah.
And this is like the COVID. Our brain is saying, well, I'm worried about the vaccine. I don't need it. But no, I do need it, because if I don't have it, I'm not going to get well. So I have it. But your first brain inside of it is saying, don't have it, because what testing have they done? But you're too scared not to have it because you're worried what can happen. So you rather just not listen to the first part of your brain, which is saying, let them do more tests on it. And you're just rather saying, no, I need it, rather than whatever. Like there's a woman that talks from the States. I was listening to that. She was talking about taking the nose bud or whatever and sticking it up into your nose. She had this whole big thing and a whole political talk on that, actually creating and putting follicles or something into your nose that you're already planting into your head, and then this and that. And she's like she was talking about this whole big, you think you're on your own, but they're not. They're planting things in your head, and people are having their own different mindsets. And I suppose at the end of the day, you've got to go with your gut.
Oh yeah.
If your gut tells you this is good and I feel confident enough, I'm going to do it. If I don't feel confident, do your own research. Do your own background checking. Talk to people, ask questions. It's exactly like self-defense. Don't take something, talk, learn, ask. If you're not sure, find out. Don't just take it because it's been here and it said, take it. Inquire about it, investigate on it, read up about it, learn about it before you're putting something into your body that you don't know anything about. It could be water that's chaff stuff in your arm. And then I'll jab you with a needle that's just, it's clear, it's water. I'll just jab you. I think I've got the vaccine. It can go on and on and on. At the end of the day, I'm no doctor, and these are my thoughts. I'm not saying I'm a psychologist. I'm not saying anything like this. I'm just saying, you've got to Your time is your time. And vaccine or no vaccine, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Irrespective if you have a vaccine shot and you go out and you get hijacked and you get shot. Oh, but I had the vaccine, but why am I getting shot? So I'm saying that the person that you believe, irrespective of if it's a God, if it's Christ, if it's whoever, when it's your time, the only one thing that we know in life is that we're going to die.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of the matter. Other than that, live your day to the fullest, appreciate yourself, appreciate life, and just take a deep breath. And don't worry about chasing what I've learned in the 3 weeks in hospital. Don't worry about so much chasing that next grand. Stop, take a breath, breathe in the roses. Tell your family that you love them. Take time, spend time with your family, because life is short. Irrespective if you're healthy or not healthy. Embrace that, because no money in the world can make you feel healthy. You can run and run and run and chase that rand, but if you're not healthy, it doesn't mean anything. And without health, there's no money. So training, do something at home, get fit. Even if it's a walk around the park with your mask on, take the dog for a walk. Do something and maintain and stop and take a deep breath in. And I'm alive. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I can use all 4 limbs. I don't have to be helped to the toilet. I don't have to. I appreciate life. I appreciate my life, because without my life, I can't give my love. I can't give satisfaction. I can't give care. I can't give anything to anyone that I love. Take care of yourselves. Love yourself, because it's the first important thing about life, is that we've got to learn to love ourselves before we can love others. It's the same as when you're flying in a plane and an oxygen comes down. I would love to save my child or whatever, but if I don't put oxygen on myself, I can't be any good to anyone else. So I've got to look after myself before I can help others. Take care of yourself. Stop. Breathe in. Breathe out. Enjoy life. Enjoy, smell the roses. Come home early for dinner. Sit around. Find out what your kids are up to. Find out what your spouse is up to. Let them find out what you're about, how your day was. Encounter those moments, because without health, you don't make money. You don't do anything else. You're fighting for your life. So be accountable for yourself and just enjoy yourself and enjoy life and enjoy the ones around you and love them. That's my message.
Perfect, Anthony. And that's perfect timing, Anthony. I'm watching the clock very closely. I'm not going to hold you past your time. I appreciate this. Thank you so much. Again, I didn't want to cut off before we're stopping here, but it's 10 seconds left and we're going to be cut off. So let me say goodbye to you and thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Always
Anthony.
good talking to you, Darren.
Likewise.
Look after.
Thank you. And we will see you soon.